Hello everyone, welcome to the Advancement Centre and welcome to the world of magic and miracles. At this special time, we're all celebrating our families, our life, how we've progressed and how wonderful the feeling is around us. There's no need for us to lose that. We can advance further and we can hold this feeling right into next year and beyond. The elevation that you've naturally taken on because of a special occasion can be maintained easily. And as you deliver that sense of joy to one another, you can deliver a future that contains everything you can offer for everyone. So now that we have the opportunity to combine all our energies, it's an easy thing to do. Just allow what used to be your thoughts to disappear into the endless realms that come in front of you when you feel the joy of Christmas, when you feel the joy of celebration, and when you feel the joy of children in your life. The family that you have extends beyond the family that's defined. It goes to all those people that you connect with at any moment. When you walk down the street, you recognize someone, but you've never met them before. You go into a shop and you connect with someone and you know they feel the same as you. You move in and out of society in ways that you connect regularly to those members of your family that you have never seen before. As you listen, there are more and more elements to be a part of that world, and more of the great things that you bring to this world will now appear every day without the need for a social calendar. When you are told to celebrate because of, you can. But when you tell yourself to celebrate because of nothing, you seem to stop. In fact, the time of celebration is every time. The time of joy is every time you open your eyes, every time you look around, every time you see a friend or family. That joy bounces from you, and now you don't have to hold it back. To send it out without knowing, without it confusing anything except the world that said you can't, is a great thing, because nobody really runs into anyone. We all have our own world, our own frequency, our own collaboration with the energies around us. But the fact that no matter what you do, you cannot stop enhancing people's lives makes it a joyful time to do anything. Anything at all. There's no need for us now to have a fixed pattern. There's no need for us to fit an opinion or even a framework of what you should or shouldn't look like, or should or shouldn't feel like. At Christmas time, all that is thrown away. So the only thing that's in your field is joy and celebration and family, interaction, and the general elevation of everyone. So as we take that into the new year, we've been given the opportunity to multiply it by trillions, without limit, without question, and without encouragement. You can do it or you can't do it. It doesn't matter. But it's going to happen anyway. Because that's the natural projection of each one of us. Now that we know everything is available, now that we know that we can bring anything into this world from anywhere at any time. Because the world that you live in belongs to you. It doesn't have to meet anybody else's specification. The greatest thing that's happening right now is the general trend. And the general trend, no matter what the subject is up. Even though there are many ups and downs, the general trend is up at a very high rate. In our ability to live, in our ability to do what we need to survive every day, and in our ability to make sure that survival means nothing. We are here and nothing can touch us. We're going to survive even if we don't work at it. Everything that's provided for you is for that purpose, and you don't have to work at it. The world is actually releasing everyone from the demands that have been placed on through our ancestors. And as you talk about all them that have done everything bad for you, you find that they don't exist. And so you don't have to fix anything. You just have to realize that if you put it on the table and it doesn't exist, it's going to disappear. So as you talk to one another and you allow the rhythm of interaction to take its course, just like an open conversation, as simple as a chat over the back fence, then everything takes care of itself. And as we interact in that way, we have no limits and we have no patterns. We have no subject. We just love the interaction. And in that interaction, you get gifts and you give gifts. And many times they turn into something physical that supports your way of life. The more you interact, the more you'll find that someone has a gift for you. The more you allow yourself to break loose of your own personal limits that have said don't disturb anyone, the greater the joy will be in everybody's heart. A child, when they're really young, their only job is to disturb you. That's all they do. And that's why they're so beautiful. And we decided that we would change that and dumb them down and dumb ourselves down to where we didn't disturb one another. But in fact, the greatest joy is to be disturbed because you know someone cares. This is where we're going. We're about to disturb one another with so much joy and so much talent that you won't believe how each one of you shine in the eyes of everyone else. I can't express enough what it means to see a sparkle in someone's eyes and in their movements, and to see them standing tall. They're actually physically taller. And in seeing that, I understand that people can look over the top of all the rubbish that's been dealt to them. Just by being that tiny bit taller and that bit more sparkly. So as we come into the new year, we're going to take off. I can assure you there are so many things happening, not just in the world, but in other worlds and in your field, that you're really going to take off. The things that will come your way in this coming year, you'll think must have been there for someone else because it's too good. It's too big. It's beyond your imagination and beyond your so-called capability. But there's nothing beyond your capability. And as I feel that entity that holds you all together, growing in strength and lifting your hearts, I know beyond a doubt that we're all going places. There are so many discoveries, so many people in big business attempting to snowball us once again, to say we have the bigger and better, we can do all this, we can give you free energy. It's only free for them. The energy that we bring is free for us. And we're about to realize that if we have family that needs to be warm, we can just decide to make them warm. We can decide that they have shelter. We can decide how everything works. We can change all the measuring systems so that they don't work properly. In an instant, if we decide that some older people don't need to be charged what they're charged, it'll change. We have all that capability. We have the ability to stop computers. We have the ability to change what they do. We have the ability to change the signals that go to all the equipment that's reading what we have to pay. We also have the ability to make sure that what is needed for those people at the other end who need to collect a salary also happens. So there's going to be an enormous shift, but it's not going to be one way. It'll be a balance. So the big companies will still make money, but they won't rob us. The little people will get income if they need it, or they'll just get exactly what they need. As we interact with one another, we find that the laws of the universe are reversed. The more we interact, the less it costs us, even in physical money. The more we are willing to spend on others without having a division. But by joining together, it's like a potluck. Costs you almost nothing. And you all eat more than you possibly can. So you experience it every day. But you don't realize that's the magic. As you all interact in a free way to supply what you can supply, you are supplying a big gift to someone who can't get hold of that. Or you make a part of a meal that someone else appreciates, you have fulfilled more for them than it ever cost you. And the natural flow makes sure, even at a potluck, everything turns up in the right ratio. And it's never failed. So the rules of the universe are actually controlled by us. Our ability to interact and not run into one another also goes into other levels, into what food we need, into what we have to take along to a potluck, into what we need when we even go shopping. If we just walk around and only shop for what really attracts us, we end up finding that we've bought something for someone else, and they've bought something for us. But you've gone with what comes to you, not with the momentum that comes from advertising, or that comes from, I have to look after myself. That is looking after yourself, but in a bigger ratio than what you expect. If you go with what comes to you, even though it doesn't make sense, you watch. It'll always work perfectly. I work with all sorts of things. And even in playing with the tools of trade, with engineering, with building major projects, I go with what comes to me, and it shocks everyone. But it works. And they say, how are you going to do that? And I say, I don't know. You've overcommitted us. It's impossible. So it'll work. And you can be calling yourself into areas that you've never been in before, but you act like an expert because you're taken there because somewhere, somehow, you are an expert. But the rules say you're not an expert until you've done it 500 times. You can look at a young child and say, definitely going to be a scholar, going to be a runner, going to write books, be a lawyer, because it's displayed. And if you go with everything that's displayed to you, occasionally they change. But if they go into the right fields, they're brilliant and they don't have to learn anything. We will start to see that interaction more and more, where people are allowed to go to where they're led, instead of having to go with the definition of the job. Because it's a well-known fact that every person can earn between 200% and 500% of their income without any effort at all. It's because we work with magic. The simpler it is for us, the more efficient it is out there. The easier it is for us, the more we make. The prouder we are of what we do, the better it gets. Total opposite to the old control mechanisms. So we're moving back into the world and we're going to show our medals. We're going to show that we came here, even as a child, with more than what we're showing now. Every person is in that position. And every person is now capable of opening the floodgates and flooding the whole world with more than it can possibly handle. Because you can open your world to a much bigger place, bigger than any sideshow, in an instant. The factors that have been around for a long time that bring up emotions in people that want to hold you down are now inaccessible. You'll feel them flutter inside you, but you can't get hold of them. Because there's been a great action out there to cancel those frequencies, or the combination of frequencies that put you down. So all those little triggers have been tied in a knot. They're there, you feel it, you don't know how to get hold of it, and it doesn't work. And so you don't put anybody down and they don't put you down. You feel it rise inside you and you think, oh no, am I going to do this? And then all of a sudden, you can't find it. And it doesn't happen. And life goes on beautifully. It's a little bit like skiing down the hill and you come across a part that's too steep and you go, oh no. And all of a sudden you turn and you breathe a sigh of relief that you made it. You don't ever experience the big drop, but you experience something that comes out of nowhere that enables you to turn in an impossible time and keep yourself safe. So each time we enter this new world that we brought here, we can positively say, come on, more energy, be bigger, let's sparkle some more. And in an instant, it's there. And you just open everything up, stir it up, and up comes the energy. And you start to buzz and go, well, that was easy. So I think we'll take a little break, and you can stay with that ability to move the energies and lift it and increase your world and everybody's world without any problem at all. Be back in 5. Thank you. Welcome back. I hope you're all high on the energy of the future that's coming through right now, because it is flowing in fast. What we've done is opened you to something you forgot about, something that has no name, but something you're all very familiar with. And that is an energy flow that is beyond what the body requires. It's an energy flow that comes from many, many places, that is so enormous that it gives you a strength beyond your normal level, beyond what you're designed for, and beyond what you need to carry on with life. Within that energy flow is your big box of gifts for this world. This is what enables you to deliver the impossible, the unimaginable, and the brilliance that comes from other worlds. This is the time when you can say a little bit more thanks. Yeah, a bit more? Great. I can take it. Keep sending it. And you will get taller, and you will feel your own being actually smiling beyond anything that you can show in this world. But we're about to change that. We're about to make it so you can show it in this world. You can show with a physical body the mystery of the mystical being that is actually here, interacting with everything and everyone. We're about to show that each person can stand and sing with great joy, not to the standard that we have now, but to the standard that you brought with you, to the off tones that meet the off tones of others, to produce magic, to the elevated feelings that come from those mixed tones. Even in speaking, you will speak with such elevation that you'll carry everything possible for everyone. And there won't be a case of having to heal anymore. Nothing will survive the beauty of your personal being. So you can't catch anything, you can't get sick, you can't destroy anything without it recovering. Even if you destroy half your body, it'll recover. But with the interaction that we all have, and the massive energy that you know belongs to you, you will present maybe 1 trillion times what you expected. I keep using that word 1 trillion because it's a bit beyond what you can think. But in fact, it's much more than that. To look at possibility of instantly being able to connect with someone in another country and know that they got you. That's pretty powerful. Do it all the time, in every direction. And you'll find that the thing that has been limiting you is your sequential patterns. I'll do this, then I'll do this, then I'll do this, then I'll do this. But you were taught to scramble, particularly female. If you don't scramble everything, you're never going to figure it out. You're never going to create anything. If you don't whip up a storm, how are you going to get everything? This is one of the greatest, what would you call it, distortions of all time, where someone whips up a storm, fragments everybody's energy, and then puts it in the wrong places. But if you stir everything up, fragment everyone's energy, and then smile, it all goes to the right place. And someone will say to you, "Ah, oh, you've done it again." And you just smile, and they say, "Thanks." Because it takes away all the fixed matter that really needs energizing. It's a little bit like you can't wash up unless you stir the water up, and you can't wash your clothes unless you stir it up. You have to have motion. And with the right motion, straight water works. A magnetic field works. Your intention works. You look at your clothes and you're really happy with them. They're really crisp and beautiful. Better than how you can get them from the dry cleaners. So as we move with this great energy, we can turn it into anything. But we don't have to turn it into the energies that we know now. We turn it into whatever is useful that we know about, that makes someone smile. You don't care how it's defined. You send someone the right combination and they smile, you've got your answer. You don't even have to ask, how's your back? That was sore before, they've forgotten about it. So the right combination doesn't go to specific places, it goes to everywhere. It's a combination that only you know, and only you know uniquely. And it does not disturb anything, it only enhances. So into the new year and into the future, you're running headlong into what you've already created. And so you have to look past that and create more. You don't create it for now, you create it for the future. Because what you've already created is coming to you beautifully. And you just keep looking over the top of it, experiencing the beauty of it, experiencing all energies. And then you look forward and go, wow, I could possibly do this. Much bigger. And it only takes a fraction of a second. And it's all of a sudden you're starting to see it. It's part of the cloud that's coming towards you again. So this field that's been forgotten has been brought in by everyone and been supported by every part of the universe. Your ability to open dimensions into the world that you have now is improving. So know that the quiet times where you have special thoughts, special feelings, and special experiences are in other dimensions. And with your authority and your permission, you can open those dimensions to this world. So you don't have to hide in the closet or in the bathroom to express yourself. You stand out in the world and express yourself in the same dimension because you have opened it into the world. It will disturb no one and it'll make you feel great. So each one of you can now do the very thing that you thought you would never get around to in life. because it belonged to somebody else. No, it doesn't. We are interacting now at a level where all the people that you need in your life are coming around you. And as a result, you can start to express what you've never expressed before, and not just in words, but in actions. And you don't have to compartmentalize all your activities with all your different social friends. You open the lot. You have a full life, and one that objects to the other has its own problem to sort out, not you. As you pull things together, you might get little explosions, and you just mix it all up, throw it in the air, and smile. And watch what happens. All of a sudden, you'll have a whole integrated life that works. And you didn't do anything except create a storm. That's what I talk about with disturbing every moment. If you can get used to disturbing every moment to the level where you watch it, you'll be so occupied and so happy, you won't know what to do next, because everything falls into place. Then you say, oh, well, I'll try another combination. Phew. And watch how it falls. And it falls into place. It's like throwing a dice and always getting double sixes. You get a big handful of dice and throw them up and they all come down 6. You just keep doing it. And you keep developing that skill where as you smile, it all turns face up. You never get a flower turned over. It's always facing up. So in the beauty of interaction with everyone, you're interacting at a level that can only make you happy. Any attempt to change that will just disappear because there's too much beautiful energy in your field. It cannot be toppled. No matter what you might do, say, or indicate, it has no opportunity of opinion or distortion, because it is totally supported, it's totally correct, because it's in your world that doesn't interfere with anybody. As we move further, you'll start to see that all we're doing is talking about the same thing that you knew about when you started. But if we don't talk about it, there's a mixture that happens that tends to roll over the top of us. We keep stirring things up, nothing can roll over the top of us. Nothing. So even if you walk outside and you think, wow, the weather's a little bit down, just stir it up. And you'll feel the difference, even if it's not recorded as a difference in the local weather channel. But don't be surprised if it is. How it all works doesn't matter, because you all know what I'm talking about. What I'm looking forward to in this next year is to feel all that brilliance from everyone and start to get us all to interact and share our experiences of being stupid. You know, people say, don't use that word. That's inferring all sorts of things. No, stupidity is a great thing. It's one of those things that says, well, I did something crazy, and it felt good. I did the opposite to what the rules say, and it was great. It's like a child. The first words they they get hold of are the ones they're not supposed to say. Every time it happens. And you've got to keep a straight face or walk out and laugh in the kitchen, because somehow they love that mischief. And that's being stupid in our terms, but not in where we come from. Where we come from, you disturb everything, because that's the only way it comes out right. So as we listen to one another in conversation, we will start to move these beautiful gifts backwards and forwards. We'll move our conversation so that we can add a beautiful gift. We'll find out what person needs. We may even get it delivered to them. If we've got something in our house that would help that person, or would just make them smile, you'll find that our conversation will lead around to it. And they'll say, oh, I'd love to have such and such. And say, oh, I've got one of those. Do you want it? Oh, yeah. And then our world starts again. Every time you reach that crescendo, our world starts again. So it's not a single track. It's a multiple display of fireworks and beauty. And you change your focus with each explosion. But you're not touched by any of the explosions. You're touched by the aura, the awe, the delight, the excitement. Every time I see someone walk into this house and they look up and they're beaming, I know I'm doing something right. But I don't have a clue what it is. So you don't define anything, you just keep going and you keep the beauty. And just to see the beauty in people, it's an amazing gift. To not see the regular person, but to see the new person every day. It's a rare gift that I know you all have. So each time you see someone, you let every part of your field be disturbed by their presence. And then let it fall down, you'll see unbelievable beauty. In your working day, you have all these so-called things that you're supposed to do. I encourage you to not do them. Do better, so that they are not important. Because the things to do are the nails that hold your feet on the ground. You come in and do all these things, they know you're nailed to the floor or the chair or wherever you're supposed to be. But if you do more, you don't have to do them. And you're not nailed to the floor, and you're brilliant, and your eyes are sparkling, and you're so amused by the fact that they can't touch you because you've exceeded all expectations. This is the most powerful thing that we have to offer in any part of the world, to exceed expectation. And we now know we're at that level, and we can do it easy. And in any 1 second, we can just call in more energy and send it around and go, yeah, have a go at that. And they don't know what to do because it's too good. But after a while, they'll say, oh, do that thing again for us. And you'll just send the energy around the workplace, around the office, around the street, and everything will just be beautiful. So this is the magic of a young child. When you give them a wand and say, go for it. You don't even tell them what to do. They know exactly what to do, and they touch everyone, and they sparkle them, and they change the colors, and they do everything all naturally. You've got more than that. So let's see it all happen for the new year and beyond. And all our technical achievements and everything will just be way out there. Don't be surprised at how the world and its advertising tries to take over. Just stir it all up and smile again. And you watch, it'll all fall into place. So remember, everything can fall into place. And the smile that you have in your heart is the biggest smile of all. So I think that's enough for today. Have a great new year. I know you've had a Merry Christmas and a lot of joy. And we'll see you straight after the new year. Enjoy. Thank you.